That should be going live now. So welcome back to another stream. Just waiting for YouTube Studio to kind of just fully load the playback. Although it's probably gonna lag like 500 times on YouTube Studio, but that's whatever. I only need to look at the chat anyways. But yes, welcome back to another stream. Milton is still at a Category 5 strength at the moment. And Storm Surge is still relatively the same. Let me just pull up Firefox. Or not pull up Firefox. Firefox is already open. But let me pull up the graphics real quick for what we are looking at today. Which, from Anaclet River to Inglewood and also Tampa Bay, still looking at 10 to 15 feet of Storm Surge. And I think from last night, Inglewood to Bonita Beach, I think is a little bit higher. Same with Bonita Beach to Chokoloskee. And Anaclet River to Chesapeake. Pretty sure that's somewhat sure that's I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. If anyone in chat or if after this in the comments gives kind of like a way to like a way to kind of pronounce that, I would greatly appreciate that. But anyways, let's look at the rainfall graphics as well, because this has changed also. And you can kind of see in these sections here between Tampa Bay and Orlando, you see up to 8 or more inches of rainfall, which is where that now high risk of flash flooding is going to be, which this has changed quite a bit over the past couple, well, actually many hours. Actually, this has changed quite a bit, but now this is more kind of streamlined, I want to say, compared to other graphics that have been posted. Which moderate risk areas outside of this, of course, even outside of the moderate risk areas, still see a lot of rainfall and that risk of flash flood. Although this area has a much lesser flash flood risk than it did yesterday, because there was red kind of like almost in a U shape yesterday. But here is what the GFS is showing for rainfall totals. And this is the current run on 18Z. The 18Z model run. And you can kind of see for some areas 16. This is going to be where the GFS, this is where the GFS is kind of modeling it towards to make landfall. So you see some points getting up to like 16 inches, 14, 11. Basically just more 10 or more inches in some areas. Some areas more than 5 inches. Hello, welcome to the stream. Now if we go to, where is the wind? This is because this is a little bit, I went a little bit past the, okay, let me just try and get back here. Although it may take a little bit. I don't know why Fiddle Weather is taking a long time out, but okay. Okay, there we go. I don't know what was going on with it, but I don't know if it was just loading new stuff or what. I might bubble back north. I was gonna say, because I think, because the GFS shows us making landfall basically on Tampa, and then the Euro basically just south a little bit. So I don't know who, this is the AI one. Which the AI one is like way ahead. And that's also kind of showing kind of like a south or near Tampa Bay. Landfall. But I would not be surprised. European model. Hold on, let me get to the normal European model real quick compared to the AI one. So this is what the European model is showing right here, which is right just to the south there. 969 at landfall. So, see. A lot of strong winds on this side, it looks like, on the Euro. And of course, there's still going to be stronger winds on this side, of course. just being by the eye wall area. Although the models doesn't show that very well, but... Or at least on the Euro. I don't know what's going on with that, but... Okay, the GFS shows it a little bit better with that. With the stronger winds by landfall. So this is landfall right here. Still got stronger winds coming out of that. Although this is still forecasted at around 1 in the morning on Thursday morning, still to be forecasted as a Cat 3 at landfall, which I still would not, at this point with how Milton basically rapidly intensified this morning into this afternoon, I would not be surprised if this is a low-end Cat 4. Is it starting 180 miles per hour? I think it is. Actually, let me check the current, because I know the next update's at 7 p.m. Central Time. So the last update was at 4:30 Central, moving east-northeast at 9 miles per hour, minimum pressure 905, max sustained 165. Next update, 7 p.m. Central, but I think that's the intermediate advisory right there. Then the next complete one, it would be at 10 p.m. And here is the kind of cone that they're showing on here. And then you can kind of see that in Radar Omega too, but this is what their graphic looks like as a current. So 1 a.m. Thursday as major hurricane. Where my spaghetti mouse showing? Let me get that up real quick. Also another thing too, because I also managed to now get back up GR2, which is gonna be the way I'm using radar on this for any tornadoes, which I've used this for tornadoes with Helene, but I changed the color table to Radar Omega so the colors are a little bit better, although there's a little bit of contamination ongoing with 2 of these, but there is quite a few water spouts out there, which a lot of these are most likely low top supercells possibly. So let me just get up the spaghetti miles real quick. Give me a moment here. So I do also kind of want to look at intensity guidance as well. See how... Okay, so... Probably... Okay, this one's not behind. The other one is... I don't know what's up with that. But that's a GEPS that's behind, apparently. I don't know why, but it is. Alright, here we go. Firefox on. Okay, here's some of the spaghetti miles right here. So I can't remember if there was which side I went to for the kind of just better looking ones. And then here's the intensity guidance. So this is kind of where it's kind of at right now with the Cat 5. And a lot of the models are bringing this straight down to a Cat 4, then all the way, of course, down to tropical storm or just below tropical storm. And then here is the mile track guidance, which is, these are like the hurricane miles basically. Say Recon Air, is there Recon out there? Oh, they are. Yep, Recon is out there right now, as you can kind of see. And here's some of the aircraft observations as well. You can see the points where they kind of crossed into the eye, because usually when they go into the eye, the pressure just, and it goes back up, of course. But I think they went through twice, looks like, too. Because you got this 1 dip, 2 dip. Yesterday around Tampa, now it's more spread out. Yeah, it's a little bit more spread out than yesterday. Also, another thing with what the wind field is showing on Radar Omega too, because this is like a little bit more out there compared to the more more circle ahead. Wow, amazing English, circle-ish circle. But yeah, it's that wind field is a little bit more out compared to what it was yesterday as well. Although, of course, that the hurricane force winds and storm we can no doubt, but it's a matter how much. That is true. Because I'm hoping this will either I'm hoping this weakens quickly by the time it gets landfall, but even at landfall, it'll either be a low end Cat 4 or probably a high end Cat 3. That's what I'm thinking currently. I want to take a look at JR2 real quick. So I think there's a couple water spouts out towards like here and here as well. We'll just look at, yeah, there's definitely a couple of water spouts out that way. Same with right here. These are very well defined for water spouts. Maybe something a little bit here, but that doesn't look like as tight rotation as these two. Oh, these two look like there's some contamination on them. How north or south do you think Milton wobble? I think if it does go north, I think it'll probably go, because this is the cone of certainty, but I would imagine it'd probably go possibly a little bit north of Spring Hill or just south of Cape Coral. But that's just the general size of the hurricane. But where the eye kind of goes, because if some miles are doing Tampa, like the Tampa area, or just below that here, if it wobbles north, it'd probably be around probably here, or if it goes south, probably more here. That's what I'm thinking. Let me just take a look at the other messages that I need to kind of just put their translation real quick, because I wish YouTube kind of had auto translate type of thing. Although auto translate sometimes doesn't work very well. But we go to great strides to make sure we do reading. Tell me number of thunderstorms in Puerto Rico and northern area of Puerto Rico. I could not tell you how many. Plus, right now, we're not really focusing on what's going on in Puerto Rico at the moment. Anyways, because, I mean, this is a stream of what we're focusing on with Milton right now. Hurricane Elsa in 2027. I was gonna say, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I read Hurricane Elsa. So that song is just ingrained to the back of my brain, kind of, with that, like, not 2 words, 3 words. Also, I do want to take a look again at the Hurricane Milton model intensity guidance, which of course this is of course not official forecast, but just kind of idea where these models are kind of taking it. It's interesting how because I think this is the AI one right here that's still kind of taking it to just near a high Cat 4 still, even many hours out. And then the regular UK one kind of takes it to a low end Cat 3 and then drops down to a low end Cat 2 or a high end Cat 1. Hurricane also was Cat 1 when it hit South Florida in 2021. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I feel like that would just make the environment worse in the particular area. I'll just move my mic a little bit. So we still got almost another 10 minutes till the next update. Although there's a chance we could see an early update, but it's probably going to be right on the dot probably with the next update for Hurricane Milton. Because the intermediate advisory is at 7 and then a complete one at 10, so... At this point, it's kind of a waiting game at this point for information. This one's the Air Force one, which they're still going through with their mission there. This one is 8 minutes ago. That is NOAA. They're still going through. Because if I load that back up again... These two. Actually, okay, I can't load up both of them at the same time, unfortunately, because I probably make the screen messy. So I kind of do like almost like an X formation, and then they go out. Which I am kind of curious if this is a low level mission or high level. Both of them are low level. Okay. Because I know there was a couple missions where they went to the upper level. Cheer's the only things. Let's guess it. Wind shear and I say shear is the one thing that is gonna be the only thing and also of course dry air. But wind shear is gonna be the major factor. That's gonna be the major factor of weakening this thing once it starts making its way more towards the northeast. So let me read this. Try to read him that one message from translate here. Yeah, no, it's definitely not gonna be category 5 at landfall. It's more likely gonna be either a low end Cat 4 or a high end Cat 3. But the question of when it's gonna start to decrease rapidly due to the wind shear is the big question so far. What did I just click on? Oh, that's what I clicked on. Let me say this other message I translated here. I want you to check the. So I feel like sometimes translate is kind of all over the place, but this is what translate is. Okay, so Google Translate does better than Microsoft's Translate for some reason. I want you to check my direction what the weather conditions are like in Puerto Rico. Tell us the weather condition in Puerto Rico. Dude, this is, like I said before, this is a stream focusing on Hurricane Milton. Not Puerto Rico, unfortunately, for today. Oh, my arm just made a crack. So I'm just kind of looking up some history real quick. There's a couple of hurricanes that made landfall as a Cat 5 in the past, which two of them are more recent than the other. One of them in 2018 with Hurricane Michael in the Florida Panhandle, October 2018, which would be, if I remember correctly, that would also be meaning if this does make landfall tomorrow, that would mean, or not tomorrow, but Thursday, that would mean this hurricane made landfall on the same day as Hurricane Michael. See if we got an update yet. No update yet on the next update for Hurricane Milton. So waiting on another 7 minutes here for the next update, because they did say the intermediate was going to come out at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then the next complete one at 10, which then would be 3 hours once we get to the 10, not the 10, the 7 p.m. update. Which should be soon, and now 6 minutes. So let me turn all some of this stuff off so we can take a look at Milton a little bit better here. Hurricane Michael, October 10th. Hurricane Milton, October 10th. Hurricane Michael's name was reused in Milton since Michael was retired. Yeah, it makes sense. So that eyeball is still pretty big. So let me look at the 3D, because I know we looked at 3D quite a few times yesterday, but Vader Omega being weird right there, as per usual. Let me take a look at GR2, see what kind of wire spots are out there right now. Hold on, let me turn on GR2. If I can actually, if the button will turn on the thing. So we may actually have a couple, one here, like one here and then one here with the wire spouts that are probably actually quite far out still, but they're there. And this one possibly too, but these ones are definitely wire spouts with how close those colors are together. What would a new name be for Milton? Say what? Just Hurricane Mikey, maybe? That'd be my only guess, but actually, let me look at the Hurricane names 2020. Actually, let me take a look here. Tropical cyclone names. So, because this year is Milton. So next year would be Melissa. And then after that would be Marco, and then Mindy, and then Martin, and then Margot. Will be interesting to see what the 2030 list of names is going to be. Because right now we only have 2024 to 2000, or not 2009. Wow, 2009. Ah, yes, we're going back in time. Back to the future. But yeah, 2024 to 2029 currently. That's what they're showing here. Oh, that's another thing too that I want to take a look at. So this is like all the ensembles put together basically. And a lot of the ensembles have this going south on the EPS. And then the icon. Same thing, south. What about GEFS? Basically same area. So a lot of these models are kind of in a agreement. For the heck of it, I'm gonna look at Canada's one, but Canada's models are weird sometimes, or all times, or actually just never use them. So just mostly just don't even use Canada's models. It's pretty warm. It's probably, I'd say right now in Florida, it probably feels like probably a little bit warm, probably a little bit muggy, probably. Let me look at the dew points actually. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, that's very moist right there. That's a lot of moisture. What about, look at the relative humidity. So there's, you can see all the wind barbs in a circle. So definitely humid. That's for sure. And then the total precipitation. This would be on landfall. Or while it makes landfall. You can see a lot of the rainfall totals kind of going up. Although one thing I will say about the Euro is the Euro shows these a little bit lower compared to the GFS. Also, I just realized we're on a 12. That's a 12Z for GFS, and I don't understand why I need the plus for pivotal weather for the Europe one, but it's fine. Because the GFS has been pretty accurate so far during this hurricane season. So a lot of rainfall from Hurricane Milton once this makes landfall. A lot by the coast here, Hurricane Mickey. Bro, I feel like Disney would be like angry about that one. Although, I think Steamboat Willie actually. Is it Steamboat Willie? That version of Mickey that's in the public domain right now? I can't remember. Or is going to be in the public domain. A couple special marine warnings out there. As the start of the year became in public domain. About time, I'm not gonna lie, time flies, man. Like it's October right now. It feels like hasn't even been that long since the start of the year. So just to take a quick look at Puerto Rico, here's all the like kind of showers and storms going on. There's one out here that is a special marine warning out there right now, which people producing water spouts out on shore, which is probably gonna be that little area right there, most likely. The new special marine warning over here, apparently, for this one right here. It's gonna be right in there. Contamination ongoing as usual. Contamination right there, as usual, going on. So it's definitely possibly a strong water spout right there. That's definitely a water spout right there as well. Same right there. Is there a storm forming next to Florida on Thursday? Could Milton feed off of that? There is actually an area, yes, there is actually an area of disturbance that is just to the east of Florida. Which, if anything, I feel like as Milton kind of starts to die down, I feel like a lot of that moisture could go to this disturbance, and then we can get and then that would form the next tropical storm, possibly, depending on what kind of happens once Milton does make that landfall. Also, we got another one down here, which definitely a cluster of showers and storms right there, for sure, on that one. Here's this one right here. A little bit more organized. Look in Discord, I got warning. So if Discord will load faster, that'd be amazing right now. Oh, yeah, there it is. Emergency alert, extreme mandatory evacuation orders For Zone A, B, and all mobile homes in Hillsborough, life-threatening storm surge between 10 to 15 feet expected. Evacuate by 7 a.m. Wednesday, October 9th. Find evacuation zone shelter and storm-related resources at, that'd be the Hurricane Center, Florida, or call the Hurricane Storm, call 833 Hurricane Storm, or that phone number there. So that's one thing I can only imagine too. Still, is that the absolute just all the roads in northern Florida is just absolutely just backed up with all the traffic. Do I evacuate? Honestly, at this point, I feel like it probably would be a good idea to evacuate. Because that is one thing inland we'll have to... Well, the main threat for inland areas is going to be that wind threat. Anywhere along the coast, of course, is got to be having that threat. No storm surge. Yeah, no storm surge is not going to be a concern inland. Wind definitely will be. Also, another thing too, with Project Mesovort, these are up and going right now. See if we can see. Well, it's gonna be pretty dark, so don't know how much you're really gonna see. That. Oh no, okay. I was like, I couldn't tell if it was going or not with the Venice, Florida Mesovort, because there's weird streaks on the camera. Actually, might be a couple bugs flying around too. Probably. There's a lot of, I don't know, like some type of shrubbery on the beach here. Over in Inglewood. This one's more north. Oh. Well, that's definitely damage from when Helene came through. So what about here? That's pointing towards out the Gulf on that one. Probably this one too. This one is, I feel like, is almost in a similar area before. So I remember there was a similar area that the Project Mesovort was. I think it was up here somewhere over in the Big Bend area. And then Palm Harbor. Grass, some shrubbery, trees. I do want to take a look back at this one. Although, once again, I don't think we're going to really see a whole lot. This one is probably the more well-lit out of all the Project Mesovorts that we can see on Radar Omega. Yeah, that is still pretty big. That is still a pretty big cone of uncertainty. Also, another thing, too. When Milton's making its way out here, it's definitely got to drive Leslie towards that way. Well, that kind of just depends on the position where Leslie is at. Ocala, Marion County. So I'm not familiar with that county. I wonder if I can... The Ocala right there. So that's definitely inland there. That's just to the north of this cone of uncertainty. 10 p.m. update come for you. Let me check I don't know if it did or not. It probably did. No. Oh, no way it did. Okay. So, it's moving faster by 1 mile per hour. Everything's still the same. Minimum pressure 902. Max sustained winds 165. But yeah, one thing I will talk about is with anywhere like inland here, especially Okla. I think Okla is gonna be dealing with just a lot of wind, either some rainfall, or actually a lot of rainfall actually once this hurricane makes landfall. Rainfall, landfall. Try saying that 5 times fast. But let me just pull up the graphics real quick. Which Okla, I think, is around in this area, which is in that moderate flash flood risk. And then be around and try to like line this up real quick. So Okla could be just northwest of Orlando, so it's gonna be around here ish. 2 inches, 3, 4 inches, 5 inches. So around 5-ish inches of rain, probably. 2 to 5 inches of rainfall accumulated. Alright. Let me just... There we go. Okay, that was easier than I thought it was gonna be when taking off the little location point on Radar Omega. I thought I was gonna have to like click X or something, but nope. We got the storm shutters and boards on the windows. So, oh, and there's also the forecast advisory, by the way, too. Now I'm reading it or looking at it here. Next complete advisory at 10 p.m. So just about 3-ish hours from now, we'll see the next update. See where this is kind of heading towards in terms of intensity. I still have water from yesterday. I mean, it's like down to like the last bit, but it's not like the last bit, but it's still there. So also another thing about this satellite imaging too, it updates around 10ish minutes. So currently we're on a 709 update. So we'll see the next kind of satellite updated image at 7:18 p.m., which is around 5 minutes from now. So take a look at, let me turn out the cone again real quick while I'm at it. There's the 3D image of Milton. I just accidentally went 3D, not 3D mode, full screen mode. To see if anything else, I think for the most part, the flash flood risk, yeah, pretty much almost nothing has changed basically since the last update from the National Hurricane Center. Other than in this hurricane moving like 1 mile per hour faster, that's about it. So it's starting to pick up a little bit more speed with movement, but not a whole lot. I'm making sure my weather radio is still powered on because I've gotten through so many batteries with that thing already. But I mean, it lasts a while on batteries, but batteries mostly should be a backup option. Especially if you have no power. So let me refresh the recon data, which I know just came in a little bit ago, but I still want to see what they're kind of just doing out there at the moment. So they're still both out there. Air Force is going through their last couple of pass-throughs. No, I think I found what I was looking for beforehand. So you can kind of see where that wind shear is at. And it's on the 18Z run, by the way. So start seeing that wind shear starting to kind of affect Milton there. And then, of course, this is the 500 millibars, which is the jet stream. A lot of wind coming off this in the jet stream area. Because 500 millibar is the jet stream. So I'm trying to figure out, I need to get back to what I was looking at earlier with, oh, there we go, winds. Yeah, still got, this is still, as of now, still showing strong winds on landfall on the GFS. I wonder what the Euro looks like. Which is on the 12Z, so it's a couple hours behind. Unfortunately, we can't look at the Euro on this site. I think on Triple Tidbits I can look at it, though. Let me go over to that. So here's what this is on Triple Tidbits. So this is what it's kind of showing at landfall. Which I think that's, yeah, it's going still right on top of Tampa with some of these models. This one is a little bit behind, but it still shows that making landfall there. Here we go. See where that wind shear is at coming from the west there. So let me just shift this over a little bit. Which this is that wind shear that I've been talking about, which is what Milton is going to be interacting with once it starts moving more north into the kind of almost the Tampa. Well, a lot of these are still forecasting this to make a landfall in Tampa. Also, it looks like there is a bit of a trough actually in the next coming days between Monday and Tuesday next week, and then a high pressure ridge comes in. And after that, it's like a kind of a crapshoot because we're going way far out. My foot is starting to fall asleep as I have it on my, just sitting here on my knee. Then you switch it up. Say, looks like Leslie strengthened back into a hurricane. It was expected to continue just being a tropical storm, but it looks like it did re-intensify to, looks like around a Cat 1. So a lot of rainfall warnings, which there's 12 of them, which a lot of the rainfall warnings, that's going to be over in Canada. So let me take a look at GR2. So let me just turn GR2 analysis on. So you can still see there's a couple of water spouts. One here, one here. Not sure where this one would be. But this one does have a special marine warning on it. Here's the other one that has the special marine warning on it as well, which also has the water spout tag on it. Which I am kind of curious. I know there's storm reports, wind damage. I don't know why that one's off, but here we go. So there's tropical storm, water spout. Turn those on. Typically, I don't have those on, but that's mostly because typically I'm looking at, let's say, well, where do reports go? Typically, I would look at like tornado, wind damage, record wind, spider hail, and lightning strike reports. Typically, I don't see a lot of lightning or strike reports on Radar Omega compared to wind and or hail. Also, it looks like there's a couple of water spouts out here too. One right there, one right there. Probably a couple, one here possibly, and over here. Because this little cluster right here that's producing a lot of the water spouts right now. And this is a lot of convection on the outer band from, like a big old outer band from Milton. So this is also getting close to the next forecasting point, which is supposed to be at around 1 a.m., but this thing is, well, it's moving faster by 1 mile per hour. It used to be at 9, but now it's at 10 miles per hour. Which the next complete advisory is going to be at 10 p.m. Central Time. So at this point, that's almost 2.5 hours. Currently, it's 7:24 p.m. Central Time. doing some spikes. It used to be at 9, but now it's at 10 miles per hour. Alright, let's see. Making sure my mic audio quality is good. Central time. Alright. So making sure I listen back to my audio as well, just in case something does not want to work properly. Because I know I've had audio problems in the past when it comes to microphones for some reason. I don't know why, but it just does and do, I guess. Still got a well-defined eye wall on this hurricane. Which, I mean, as of current, it's still a Category 5 hurricane. Moving east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Minimum pressure 902, max sustained winds at 165. So not as strong as it was yesterday, because yesterday I know it hit up to 180, 185 with max sustained, and with wind gusts from 200 to 220, which now it's lower than that, of course. Although we don't have all the complete information at the moment, because the next complete advisory will be at 10 p.m. Central. But we do have the current wind speed of max sustained. Let me look at the forecast advisory as well. Estimated minimum central pressure. So the minimum central pressure. So where the low pressure area is, the center of low pressure, 918. So this is definitely still holding on to some type of strength right now until it starts hitting the areas where that wind shear is at. Still got quite a few water spouts out there, possibly a couple out here. These ones are a little bit more easier to see on radar at the moment. That's definitely a water spout there, that one there as well. These ones have been holding on to the rotations for quite a while, actually. So I know this one's been going on for a while. Could see this possibly making landfall, but this depends on what direction it's going on to. But this could completely just miss land in general. But we'll have to see. So how is everyone doing this afternoon? Because so far mine's been pretty good so far. Allergies been being a pain in my butthole all day, so I just took a Benadryl about an hour ago, and that's been helping a lot. But once again, tis the season for allergies. Also, I keep forgetting I have Flonase, which I rarely use, but Benadryl's been doing pretty good for me so far. Had to use Flonase when I had some issues with my ear. Oh, good here. Hoping that anyone need to get out of Florida did. Yeah, I'm hoping people who did need to get out of Florida did get out. Also, I still wonder how backed up the highways are in Florida right now. Because, I mean, with just the Tampa area alone, that's like a lot of people going out of the city. Which I'm looking at some of the cameras that are kind of available right now on the first page here. Doesn't seem like there is as much traffic as there was yesterday. Because yesterday I know there was a lot of people trying to get out of the state, especially those who were on the coast or anybody who lives on the coast in general. Because that is where storm surge is expected to be the greatest risk for the coast area with storm surge. Which let me pull up the storm surge again here. So from Anaclover to Englewood and including the Tampa Bay area, 10 to 15 feet of storm surge forecasted, and then outside of that, from Englewood to Bonita Beach, 8 to 12 feet of storm surge, and then Anaclover River to Chaska, Hawiska, 5 to 10 feet of storm surge. And rainfall graphics, there's areas there in the 6-inch areas, but we can still see probably 6 inches outside of this. But this main area here, where that area is forecasted to have Milton making a landfall, 8 to 12 inches possible of rainfall, and that also resulted in the high risk of flash flooding right there, right smack in the middle, from Tampa Bay and all the way to Orlando and in this portion of Florida. I don't know what is it word this way. You got Titusville, Merritt Island, Scottsmore, Oak Hill, Deltona. Also, I do wonder what the... I know COD basically has kind of the same things as Pivotal Weather. Holy echo. So the HRRR and the NAM, which still don't use the NAM for anything hurricane related because NAM is... It's essentially what could be described as someone who drank way too many Red Bulls. Sometimes, alright? Alright, that's one thing I want to show. So this is the GFS on COD. And then, where's Pivotal Weather? Pivotal Weather, there it is. And then we're... So this is the precipitation. Can I change it to... Where is my winds? That's not it. That's not the one. Where's the 18Z? Okay, there's the 18Z. So what do I have it on? Winds here. Wind. No. That wind speed. There we go. So this is what COD shows on their site here, and then this is what Pivotal Weather has, which, to be honest, when it comes to anything wind related, so I think there's actually, yeah, these are actually kind of the same. Although I do like the graphics of Pivotal Weather a little bit more compared to COD, because Pivotal Weather looks a little bit easier on the eyes to look at and doesn't look like someone threw a paint bucket at it. So I'm gonna check. Where is okay? I'm still on the models for. I'm still on the forecast models of tropical tidbits. I want to take a look at your recon. For NOAA one, it looks like there's some missing data. Just if you look here, there's like parts where there's missing data right there. Must have been having some issues while flying through there. Not gonna lie, on 3D view, it looks like a donut. Which, I mean, you could definitely describe this as a donut-looking hurricane for sure. This is currently just making sure we didn't get any early updates, but I don't think we got any early updates. Slight risk of severe thunderstorms tomorrow, which has that 5% tornado risk on it. Which, even with that 5%, I think we could still see some low-top supercells that have brief rotation with them. Green Halloween donut. Yeah, essentially. I was gonna say, isn't there? I know with St. Patrick's Day, there's a couple of, or maybe not a couple, but there is a few brands out there that make St. Patrick's themed stuff. And then I know there's a couple of companies out there that also have green and black, so kind of like a witch, basically. Or just Halloween theme in general. I do want to take a look at these mesovorts again real quick while we're at it. Although there's probably not much happening because, I mean, Hurricane Milton is starting to come in and a lot of people have evacuated. This is over near Siesta Key. A lot of mattresses. Looks like maybe some probably beds in there, maybe some closets. A lot of debris on the side of the road. That's all from just Helene. And then we also have this one in Paul Harbor. Actually, if I zoom in, there's more. Mitchell Beach. This one, I think this one was originally here beforehand. Well, it was here before when Hurricane Helene was coming through. Although most of the time when it comes to Project Mesovort cameras, they're usually in the line where the greatest impacts is to be expected, which when Helene was coming, they were along here. It's a lot of them in this little area here, since that is actually where Helene did make landfall nearby, and this portion of Florida. Although I don't know how much of that just showed on screen because my graphic is kind of overlaying everything. but along here is where all those Project Mesovork cameras were. I think most of them were released in this area here, between this point. Great writing with a mouse by me. Looks like around 1 p.m. on Thursday, it goes down to a Cat 1. And then still is a Cat 1. That's Friday morning hours. Although we'll see how that kind of pans out on from Thursday to Friday. Because I know this is going to be, once it does make its landfall, it's going to be very highly affected by wind shear. Because there is a ton of wind shear up towards this way in northern Florida from just winds from the west. Just mid-level winds coming from the west. Tropical mid-level wind shear. Look at the wind field as well. So yeah, still got, well, this is probably going to update soon, so we're probably going to see this shift off more to over here with the wind field compared to where it is right now. And I just realized I was muted the entire time. Nice. But anyways, I don't know if any of that came through, actually. Imagine I was actually unmuted. I'm like, oh, wait, I have myself muted. But here's 1851. 3 hurricanes on this graphic. This one went a long way. All the way up to past Nova Scotia. Which, actually, I think that is Nova Scotia. What province is that? Island and Newfoundland. I don't know why I'm having difficulty saying that. I've had no problem saying it in the past. And then 2013, 2015, these links are broken right now. These three are still being worked on, so we can look at 2012. That's a Hurricane Gordon right there. Gordon. So you can see there's a nest though. I remember that hurricane from earlier this year, so that's a reused names. Florence. Yeah, a lot of these are names I kind of recognize now. But there's the 2012 version of Beryl right there. There's Sandy, which hopped right over Cuba. Not Cuba. That's no, that is Cuba. And then kind of started here, then hopped over Cuba as a category 3, then decreased in strength, and then started picking up a little bit. Went Cat 2 there. Although I am a little bit curious on the actual path of Sandy. And I just realized I did not have. That's the third time I've screwed up trying to look at graphics here. Dang it. So here's the 2012. Here's 1851 right here. So 3 of them that were recorded there. Here's 2012, so a lot of them. There's 2012 Beryl right there. Actually, 2 of them looks like for some reason. Unless it's just the same path, it's just that they had to put the names there so that everybody knows which one it is. There's the 2012 version of Debbie right there. What about there's Joyce, Florence, Helene. There's 2012 version of Helene. And what about the other years? I forget if it was 1975 or 1976. Off the top of my head. Or it might have been 1928 actually. Yeah, there. Category 5. That's a long time of being a Cat 5. Wow. And that hit to the eastern. That hit the southeast version area of Florida there in 1928. They also updated the headline. Milton will bring a life-threatening storm surge and winds to portions of the Florida Gulf Coast. So that would be anywhere in the Key West, in this area here. Once Milton makes its way more northeast. Alright, just looking at the 3D view again of Milton as well. So I do want to take a look at the satellite image. Still, obviously, a lot of convection around Milton. Doesn't seem like it's intensifying much either, and looks like it's got to hold strength for probably the next couple hours or two. So let me just take a look at the GR2 analysis here as well, if I could press the button. So I still got special marine warning on that. That was... So these two are still have some rotation on them with the possibly ongoing water spouts. Possible strong water spout was located. So it looks like we could have a pretty wide water spout on this one, looks like. Possibly this one as well, and this one. This one is a strong storm on that particular special marine warning. And then we still have a couple out here. This one is definitely a water spout right there, or some type of rotation ongoing there. So you can see literally right there a couple scans ago how tight that rotation was, and now, I mean, not that it doesn't have strong rotation on it, although it's starting to occlude at what the rotation on that one in particular. But yeah, this one definitely had some strong rotation on it earlier, for sure. Especially if it's coupling like that. Was coupling like that. This one's moving northeast, so we could see, if this does end up being a water spout, we could see this going onto land, making landfall as a water spout. Then we'll probably see a tornado warning on that one if it does make landfall. There, I got me some fruit to snack on as well. Gotta stay healthy somehow. Eat some healthy foods. I had apple eat earlier today as well. So let me just take a look at the Project Mesowarts again. Probably still nothing much going on. Well, there's one Storm Chaser there, Aaron Jack J Jack. It's probably more out there right now when it comes to the cyclone port trackers that they have, but they're obviously not on right now because they're probably offline with their streams at the moment. We'll probably see their streams online tomorrow, probably again, once it starts making landfall tomorrow, which is expected tomorrow into Thursday night, Thursday night, or very early Thursday morning, around 1 in the morning. Although it looks like Brandon Kopic is live. Oh, it looks like he's just doing a briefing. Another Park Day is live apparently as well, which is looks to be some type of camera over in Disney. Which I'm looking at right now. It's literally just a giant, like, text screen of text for the another Park Day one. So let me go to Key West Cam, see what's going on there. Although, oh no, it is live. There's also the Siesta Key Beach one, but which I think is a little bit different than, that's not the Siesta Key one. This is Siesta Key one. No, it's Mitchell Beach. Where did that? That's Anna Maria. This is Siesta Key. There's a different Siesta Key one as well. So let me just turn that on. Although it may take a while. So let me just, oh no, it turned on. For some reason, it's being a lot faster than I'm used to for some reason. So this is towards the beach. So Siesta Key Beach on this one here. And then we also have the southernmost point right here, which there's almost nobody there. Although I don't know if this is going right now or, oh no, it is definitely going. You see the waves kind of, I don't know if that's waves or someone moving. Might have been just someone moving. But there's almost like no one here. Just waiting for this to load back up again. So might as well take a quick look again at the southernmost point. Although now, as soon as I said earlier, this is going faster than I'm used to. This is now wanting to be loading slow, apparently. That's great. There we go. So yeah, basically almost no one there, except for a couple cars. Although I do wonder if this is a Storm Chaser's car. Update in 2 hours. Yep, at the 10 p.m. Central Time. That's gonna be the next update. Which we're gonna be waiting a while. Probably still actually. We're still gonna be waiting. I mean, 2 hours is, I mean, it's a short amount of time. It still feels like a long while still to the next update. Microphone real quick while I'm at it, because where do you think this update will take the cone? I was gonna say it'll either still be the same or maybe take it a slightly north. Because I know it's moved from here to here over the past, I don't know, I want to say 6 hours, but it's probably been more than that. still currently having this still has this making landfall as Cat 3. Also, we do have a couple of water spouts out there right now. Which there's 4 special marine warnings out there right now. 4 of those water spouts. Also, I am complete. Oh wait, no, I still have water. I'm like, pick up my water bottle is like on the side. I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm done with my water bottle. I don't know why I haven't thrown it out yet. But then I like put it right side up, and yeah, there's still water left in this thing. That's great. Group flash count. So this is like all the lightning in here. So there's quite a bit of lighting at over here, it looks like. Especially, this is where that eye is, I think, as well. So like, bunch of lighting over that way. I am kind of interested in if I can get a satellite image seeing all the lightning going on with this. Because that would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. Visible. Apparently CODs doesn't show it. Cause I know there's a bunch of lightning going on. So this kind of is moderating, right? Moderating? So this kind of is moderating. So that's the third time with the echo. Just love echo. Oh my god. So currently just waiting for the next update. I'm gonna load up Tropical Tidbits, see where the recon mission is at right now. So Noah, where the center of low pressure is at 913 looks like. Then with the Air Force, they got, well, they went a little bit before, looks like. Still doing their kind of pass-throughs through Hurricane Milton at the moment. So the satellite is surprisingly loading pretty quickly. So what is this? Oh, that's why. That is... I was like, what was that? But it's just the different options I can have on. So I can see the flash activity. Yeah, you can see a bunch of lightning in there. Lightning right there. Right near the eye. So can I have it on for lower level water vapor? I can. Oh my god, I can. Okay. I've got to leave it on then. So I wonder if we can see any counting outages right now. Can't imagine if there's gonna be many right now. Yeah. Let me look at, yeah. So yeah, they're still getting their power back up here. There's still quite a few people actually without power there. Over in Asheville in Buncombe County. Basically, almost the entire in Atkinson County there. Coffee County. Wonder what else we can take a look at it here. Here's the surface fronts. So this is what the surface front that Milton is going to be interacting with, where that wind shear is at right there. It's a bunch of high pressures. A couple of them actually. Dry line right there. Another dry line. A lot of dry lines out towards this way. Which, I mean, it has been pretty dry recently. Throughout most of the country. In general. Other than the Carolinas and Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and also Virginia getting some rainfall. And also after the remnants of Helene with Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana. And then also I think Illinois and Missouri also did get some precipitation from Helene as well. But not enough rainfall to kind of resolve the drought that's ongoing in these areas here, which I think there is a drought type of thing here. Buoys. Is there any buoys out here? There's a couple. Tide forecast points. So these are a lot of tide forecast points. Which I may turn those on eventually once it starts nearing landfall. So yeah, still a 6 to 10 day outlook. Dry, more dry, and more dry. 3 months. So I swore there could have been a one for drought. But I don't know specifically where that is. So I can also turn on new scannable alerts for satellite. Which I know I have my laptop's audio on, but I don't know if we're gonna hear them or not, so guess only one way to find out. MRMS. Don't really need the MRMS anyways right now, because I don't think the MRMS does what, yeah, the MRMS doesn't do what the satellite does for hurricanes. So, alright, now, okay, I was gonna say, I thought we gotta wait a little while to get the next satellite scan. This is coming in very late right now for a satellite, because this is still on the 809 scan update. Now, let me refresh my Radar Omega. There we go. No, still on the 809 update. So we do, let me switch over to GR2 here. Looks like we do have a water spout on this particular one right here. Strong water spout was located 11 nautical miles south of D Tower. Yeah, these are slowly making their way towards land. So let me also upper level water vapor. So this is like water vapor in the highest elevation area. Which I don't specifically remember how tall into the atmosphere this hurricane is at. Mid-level water vapor. This one's got to decide to take like 9 years to load. That's amazing. Probably just gotta go to lower level water vapor anyways. If it decides to load, that is. I just gotta probably look at COD's satellite for now. Which looks like at this point in time, Milton is basically between Cuba and the Yucatan right now. Well, northeast of it, but it is basically kind of in the middle if you think about it. Oh, there we go. Back. Why was that going so fast? Okay, now we're on 819. Why is this going so, like, so fast? What is going on? Or on an 819 scan. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It's like it goes slow and then speeds up. Okay, I think it's back to normal, I think. Although this is going really fast through the cycles right now. I don't know why that is. Satellite. I haven't heard a update noise from that, so I'm just gonna turn that off. Color table feed settings, radar sweep, rapid radar sweep, which I would need to buy that in order to use it. Unfortunately. Let me just animation speed. It is on the lowest speed. Now it is. Oh, that's why. Let me just turn this down a notch. That would probably help a bit. There we go. That's a lot better. Now I can actually look at this. There's a lot of lightning in there. Especially this big old area of convection over here. Lot of lightning in that area. I just hit my elbow. So got another hour, almost an hour and a half, almost officially an hour and a half till the next update. To what Recon's doing. Air Force seems to. Well, NOAA is still. Okay, it looks like the missing information I was looking at earlier is back in, it looks like. Air Force doesn't seem to be as having many issues compared to NOAA with getting low level wind speed information. And of course, the where did I put that? Okay, there. With the temperatures, relative humidity, wind. So unless we get an early update, but I don't think we're gonna get an early update quite yet. Or at least, we're not gonna get an early update tonight, at least. We'll probably get more frequent updates tomorrow as Milton makes its way closer to Florida. behind on the next satellite scan. So once again, gotta take a look at College 2 page. Although it doesn't look like it's moved that much right now still. So I mean, it is only moving east-northeast at 10 miles per hour, so it's really not gonna be moving that quickly, but eventually it'll start picking up speed. Oh wow, I was not unmuted for that. So this is where Milton is right now, which this is a hurricane model, so it's gonna be specifically for hurricanes. And this could be accurate right here once we get the next update, which will be at 10 p.m. Central Time. Because right now it's at 902 millibars with 165 max sustained winds. And then HFS A parent, which kind of shows almost near where Milton is, basically. Or actually is pretty accurate as well to where Milton is right now. 921 on that one. 938 on this one with the B. GFS, which one is... So GFS shows 966. Which I think GFS is a little bit behind. And then, hold on. Where's it? here's the euro right here. If it'll load, let me click on it. Oh wait, that's why I gotta actually click on that thing. Euro shows 962. I think out of all these, I think probably either the HWRF or the Has A parent is probably gonna be the next one. That's gonna be the next most accurate to this. Although the HWRF and then HWRF parent shows a little bit different by 1 millibar. So looking at recon right now, this is NOAA. This is Air Force. Air Force looks like it's going out, although I think there's still a pattern that needs to be completed. NOAA's doing another pass through once they turn back around and then create almost like 4-leaf clover or something like that. I don't know if the Air Force is already done and did their pass throughs, but we'll have to see. Because the next update, once again, is at 10 p.m. Central Time, which is 11 Eastern Time. So got a while to the next update. We'll have to see what the next update looks like with Hurricane Milton. See if it's weakened at all or is still holding strength. Because the next forecast point would have been at 1 p.m. with Milton being at wind speeds of 165 with max wind gusts of 200. Which there is a good chance that this has starting to either kept its strength going or starting to weaken as we are losing. Well, we basically at this point have lost daylight heating at this point because now it's 8:42 p.m. Central and 9:42 Eastern. Don't know if it's true, but if Milton gets hired, the new name will be Millie. So that is a interesting name. Yeah. Oh, I got hiccups. That's just it. So tomorrow is definitely gonna be tomorrow into Thursday morning hours. That's definitely gonna be I guess the time of what will tell if this hurricane's name is gonna get retired and then changed to something else. And the next however many years is the 2030 name. Thoughts on Hurricane Idris? So Idris sounds like something, I don't know, it sounds, I want to say it sounds like something to describe something going on with your own eyes. I don't know. It'll be a new name for Ian for 2028. There's sometimes I do wonder where they do get these names from when they're taking these meetings sometimes. Because I've been seeing some pretty interesting names lately when it comes to hurricane names, especially with the list that we looked at earlier. Because in 2026, you got Hurricane Gonzalo, and then, well, you got the name of Gonzalo in 2026, and then 2027, you got Wanda for W. Also, I just realized 2028, the W name is Walter. Yeah, I'm sure that totally won't be producing multiple Breaking Bad memes at all. I just see cool. It is kind of a unique name, I will say, though, for sure. (2029) Hurricane Gert. Must say 2029 and 2030 will be a crazy year for hurricanes. I was gonna say, especially. Oh, let me. Hurricane Barrel being retired. That is a good question. I don't know. So I'm trying to see if if it is gonna be retired or not. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be retired. I could be wrong though. With what I'm retiring what I'm retiring? Ah yes. But with what I'm looking at, seems like they are gonna keep Barrel. Looks like Barrel 2030. I say if they do end up deciding to keep that name, there is a chance we'll see Barrel back in 2030. Or in the future in 2030, I should say, not back in 2030. Ah, yes, back in 2030. And then also not with, I forgot, because I know Hurricane Kirk was a thing this year, but it didn't do anything major. So we'll probably see Kirk again as well in the next 6 years in 2030. I was gonna say that's another thing too when it comes to hurricanes. Is some hurricanes just stall for a while, then they start moving again. Which I forget which hurricane, if any hurricanes did that this year, or which ones kind of stalled and then started picking speed back up. So I think Milton must have done it at least once when I was over in this area, and then start picking back up. Ugh. Just let's just take a look at 3D view. That is one thing I also want to take a look at on here. I know I have the LWR view satellite at the bottom left, but I also want to take a look at it on Radar Omega if it will load. Maybe. We'll see if this loads the next couple of minutes or not. 1 hour until update. Yeah, it's 1 hour. Just waiting for the update. Slowly but surely. Eventually. Interested in seeing what has changed over the past couple hours. Because the last update was at 7 p.m. Central Time. So I guess we'll see where this is at. So the chances could starting to weaken possibly, or it could still be holding strength. We'll see. Because what I'm looking at recon, with the eye wall pass through from NOAA, and then also Air Force, it looks like the eye went up to 913, 914 millibars, it looks like. It's Lee forecasted for 2029. Let me look again here. It is. Well, what? Why is this so dark on my screen all of a sudden? Did the brightness go down on my lap? It did. Why did the brightness go down on my laptop? What happened? Alright, here's the LWIR view here of this. Let's do that. Yeah, still a ton of convection still. Although it does seem like it is starting to die down. Last year Hurricane Lee was a Category 5 fish storm. So I think I heard of. I was gonna say because I remember hearing. I think I remember hearing about it last year, maybe like once or twice, but then just never heard a lot about Hurricane Lee afterwards. So when did Hurricane Lee even happen? During 2020. If I can type. 2023. September 5th to, well, formed September 5th, ex-tropical December 16th, dissipated September 18th. So it was a September storm, looks like. Also, another thing I do want to take a look at is the water spouts that are going on here. So yeah, that's definitely looks like a very strong area of rotation. It looks like possibly strong water spout was located near S Tower, moving northeast at 15 knots. So there's also another one here that's warm, but special marine warning one right here as well. Although can't really see anything worth the rotation in that one. If I just turn to, yeah, even on storm relative velocity, not really seeing a whole lot. Could see a couple of them out here, outside this absolute banding out here. Alright, so for the most part, it looks like these are gonna be the two closest so far to any type of land that are water spouts. Yeah, as I'm just looking at the loop here of Hurricane Milton, it does seem like it's getting smaller, but then again, it's not being. There's no daylight hitting, so And there's also a good chance this is starting to interact with more possibly wind shear, but I don't think there's too much wind shear down this way. Hurricane Ida 2027. Similar name to Idalia, but not related. So basically, they just like got rid of the LIA and just put Ida. So there's also a Hurricane Ida in 2021 as well. So just waiting for Recon to get back with the information. Because, I mean, they still got, well, less than an hour at this point, but we still got a long while still till we get the next update. So maybe that's what I should put. Oh, that did a flip. So I feel like with the text I just put, that'd probably be a little bit helpful. Because then we kind of know when the next update is, honestly. Wait, dang, it was Cat 4, but Weekend to Cat 1 made landfall toward Louisiana in 2021. I'll turn back on LWIR on here. Kind of do a flipperoo with everything, so we can kind of get a different perspective. Although Radar Omega is going to take a little bit to load. Once it does load, we'll see the LWIR imaging. Although it's taken a while, like I said. Let me just close out a couple tabs because it's probably like wonder why I have so many things open. So this is taking a minute to load. Oh, there we go. It's finally loaded. Hope Hurricane Grace gives some grace and becomes fish storm in 2027. So we can only hope. Because so far, especially just comparing it this year, well, with how this year's hurricanes have gone, I would kind of hope in that year, hopefully that if it does ever, that if Hurricane Grace in 2027 ever becomes strong during that year, I hope it goes into a fish storm rather than hit land. Or any hurricane for that matter. Because it's certainly got to take definitely a while for places such as in Florida and whatnot to kind of get back up on their feet. But it's just see what track Milton will take. Same here. Because then we can kind of get an idea of where this is kind of going. Because right now, the path is like right now, as of current, going right for Sarasota, just the way south of Tampa. Although Tampa still got, of course, feel a lot of the effects, of course, but Sarasota's gonna get, as a the current forecast, Sarasota would be the place that would be hit the hardest, but the strong winds from the eyewall area, near the eyewall area. And that's also another thing too, because then we will also be able to use radar and see what the velocities look like on radar. Sarasota has some nice beaches and very nice sand. Honestly, Sarasota sounds like the type of place you would want to go to for beaches, to be honest. So the states that I've been to Florida, I've been to California, I've also been to Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, and also technically Kentucky because I was on at well years ago at this point. I went to Nashville, so I technically went to Kentucky in one way or another. I think that's about it of where I've been. Oh, and South Dakota. I almost forgot about South Dakota because I went to Rapid City. Which I will say about South Dakota, which one of the things I did on that vacation is there was this like big cave and it was pretty cool. I don't know, I like rocks are pretty cool. I don't know. I've been to Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Ohio. All of those we drive. I swear, I feel like driving nowadays is a lot cheaper than getting a plane ticket. To be honest, I think the only two I've been to in terms of states that I've been on a plane for would be Florida, California, and South Dakota, and that's about it. There's one year during 2020 I would have gone to Arizona, but unfortunately everything was shut down, so 2 summer going to Maine, which would majorly increase the states I've been to. That is true because going from Florida, you would need to go Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, probably Maryland or West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and then New York, and then I don't know where the highway splits off into, but either Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Driving to Maine would be a long drive. It would be. It would be. Which I am kind of curious how long it would take. I imagine it'd be probably driving almost all day. Let me just load up Google Maps. I typed in Google Mouse, so Google Maps. $22 hours. Wow, that's a long drive, man. Midwestern dads on their Midwestern dads on their way to beat the GPS time. Be like, one day I might do this, Florida to Alaska. Not saying I will, but it's on a bucket list. I say that would be a pretty interesting adventure. Not gonna lie, would take a long time, but would be pretty interesting. You would see definitely a lot on the way. I just watched a video of some guys trying to hit a egg on some type of pole with hitting golf balls at it. What the? Did you know that you can go to Florida to Mount Everest and a car potentially? You might ask how in the winter the water becomes ice, but you can drive to Alaska to Russia to Mount Everest. I don't know if you can drive on the ice, but you can definitely walk. I was gonna say, if the ice was thick enough, you definitely could do it. I swear, that's gonna be the next thing I see in the next couple of years. Someone, like, doing some challenge to driving their car from Alaska over ice and then all the way to Mount Everest. That would be quite a challenge. That's actually kind of funny to think about. It's like because you got a couple guys that climbed Mount Everest however many years ago and made it to the top, and then you get someone who's like, yeah, let me just drive my car there from Alaska. Florida man climbs Mount Everest. Yeah, that would be a very Florida man thing to do. Florida man climbs Mount Everest. Then, so what can I end this sentence with? Florida man drives up Mount Everest with his car. Florida man parachutes off Mount Everest while doing backflips with the parachute. Still got around a half hour till the next update for Hurricane Milton. Just gotta take a quick look at aircraft recon. Air Force looks like they're heading out, possibly, or they're going for another pass through, possibly. We'll see, but more than likely they're going out of the hurricane. I'm driving to India. I'm driving to China. I'm driving to North Korea. I feel like that's just YouTube Shorts in a nutshell nowadays. Just some random dude that you've never seen or heard on YouTube, and he's just doing some random challenge. Can you drive to Antarctica? I want to say probably not. I mean, unless somehow this point here completely freezes right here through the Drake Passage. And then you cross over to Antarctic, which is down here. But, I don't know. I don't think there's any type of road network. There's a town right here, actually. That's interesting. I was gonna say, yeah, it basically leaves out Australia because let me just go from like here to here. It's like, oh my god, that's 2,000. Holy, it's like 2,000 miles from kind of how I, relatively 2,000 miles or more from what I put there. So got about half hour till the next update for Hurricane Milton. Let me take a quick peek at Discord real quick. It's possible to drive in Antarctica, but only during the short Antarctic summer, from mid-November to the end of January. As of March 2016, only 23 ever in the whole history of who have made a complete crossing of Antarctic by vehicle. Of this, 12. There's actually I guess it was gotta happen at one point or another in human history, but there's actually people. Excuse me. There's actually people who did it. Also, as this is going on with what I'm looking at here on the IR, it does seem like Milton is starting to not have as big of a convection area as it did, although it's still quite large and condensed. So it still could be maybe a low end Cat 5. We'll have to see once we get the update at least. So no update yet. Looks like. So I'm refreshing it, but doesn't seem like we got the update quite yet. So I'm waiting for it. Come on, give me the update. Give the update. 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 Maybe. Update. Update. Maybe. Update. I want update. 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 Date up the up. Up the date. Waka waka. So while we're at it, I guess we'll take a look to see what kind of activity is going on with any type of water spouts out over in the southwest of Florida. Which there's still this one going on currently. This one also has a special marine warning on it for a water spout. Don't see anything clear enough that there is water spouts out this way other than maybe these spots, but they're very far out from the radar site to see if there is anything in these areas at all. How much money would you go into a Hurricane Hunter plane into Milton at its strongest? I'm doing that for free. But nah. I mean, maybe give me like $100, I'll do it. I mean, I don't want much. I just want a cool experience in a Hurricane Hunter plane. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's definitely something going on out here. Possibly a water spout right there. So I wonder, hold on, because I know I can do this. Actually, let me just get a bigger image of this. So here's the volume explorer on GR2. You can kind of see where these cloud tops are at. Hold on. These are actually quite tall. Surprisingly. So another special weather, not special weather, sorry, special marine warning over this one again. Which is going to be for that water spout right there. Oops. I keep forgetting I need to switch back like that. So I can actually move around. What do you think about Hurricane Milton looking like a skull? I was gonna say it with just Milton itself. Hold on, let me turn off GR2. This portion right here looks like a donut, but I guess taking into consideration some of this, kind of like the skull right here. If I kind of, hold on, if I kind of switch it like that, yeah, there we go. Now that looks like a skull right there. And you got your eyeball there, got your eyeball there, and you got your top of your head right there. Updates out. All right, let me take a look at it. Yep, it's out. Okay. So, max sustained hasn't changed. It's still at 160. All right, no, it's actually gone down, actually. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's the wind max sustained's gone down to 160. Minimum pressure, 915. And then this is now moving northeast at 12 miles per hour compared to 10 miles per hour. So this is starting to pick up movement speed. And it is starting to weaken a bit. Still expected late Wednesday to be a dangerous major hurricane. See if the peak surge has changed at all. No, peak surge hasn't really changed. Probably rainfall potential still hasn't changed either. Flash flooding potential, I think, is only maybe slightly changed, but not by much. See what the cone looks like. Because I'm just waiting for this update on Radar Omega as well. Because Radar Omega is a little bit behind sometimes. But then again, the update did just come out. So, we'll have to see what happens with how the cone looks on Radar Omega. Although, with the graphic, hold on, let me turn on this. It doesn't look like the cone has really changed a whole lot since the last one. So here's the storm surge. Storm surge is still forecasted to be 10 to 15 from Antelope River to Inglewood and also the Tampa Bay area. This still 8 to 12 inches of rainfall between Tampa and Orlando. And then high risk of flash flood risk right there. Also, I just realized too, why is this absolutely just gigantic on my screen? Holy. But here's the cone of what it looks like. Or not gigantic on my screen, but it is a gigantic on OBS for some reason. It was there. I don't know what was up with that, but whatever. Alright, let's look at the public advisory. Minimum central pressure 915. Present movement northeast at 12 miles per hour. Northeast motion with some increase in forward speed is expected overnight through Wednesday. A turn towards the east, northeast, and east is expected on Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico tonight, and Wednesday will make landfall along the west central coast of Florida Wednesday night and move off the east coast of Florida over Atlantic Ocean on Thursday. Maximum sustained winds are near 160. Milton is Category 5 still. Two tornadoes are possible over central and southern Florida through Thursday night. Next intermediate advisory will be at 1 in the morning. Next complete advisory 4 a.m. So it looks like Milton is starting to lose strength. Slowly but surely. But is still, as of this time, a Category 5. So just waiting for Radar Omega to update finally. Actually, let me just refresh my Radar Omega, because that'd probably be helpful. Let me just turn on GR2 analysis while we're waiting here. Alright, there we go. Let's turn that off. So 10/9/24, which is tomorrow evening. This is forecasted to be still a Cat 4 before landfall. Could probably still even see this at landfall too, to being probably a low end Cat 4. Max wind gust 200. That's still just absolutely just insane. But looks like, yeah, so we can kind of see, even with this forecast point, we can kind of see that little forecast point where Milton's got to start interacting with wind shear once it starts getting more northeast. Milton expected to make landfall on the Gulf Coast on Florida late Wednesday as a dangerous major hurricane. So, okay, so it looks like, yeah, the cone just got updated again, too. So it did track. Yeah, it's tracking south, yeah. Rather than north towards Tampa. Should we expect if it hits Sarasota from Plant City? I think for the most part, I think, well, of course, Sarasota being, of course, on a coast is definitely going to be dealing with anywhere, of course, near the coast, which I know you're not nearby, is going to be dealing with storm surge. Anywhere inland, I think it's definitely going to be dealing with strong winds, especially as Milton makes its way towards inland. Storm surge and wind are going to be the two main factors. What category? I think at probably, like, what category winds? Probably somewhere near, I want to say low end Cat 4 at least. But this wind speed on this one shows 130. Which I can't remember what the threshold for Cat 4 would be. I think that's the threshold for Cat 4, I think. So that'd be like a low-end Cat 4 probably at landfall. And then quickly dying down to somewhere probably at least a Cat 2. And then going off back into Atlantic as probably still a Cat 2 low-end, but then going to a Cat 1. Cat 4 low ends, yes. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Because Plant City would be right there. So at least Cat 4. So at least low Cat 4 wins at least. If not high end Cat 3 wins. Because I know when it comes to hurricanes, strong winds can go pretty inland. Either way, I will say this hurricane's definitely going to cause a lot of wind damage. And, of course, storm surge damage for sure. But I guess we'll have to see what just happens tomorrow. And, of course, see what kind of tornado risk is for tomorrow as well. Let's say if it directly hit Tampa, would it affect me more if that happened? Most likely. Just take a quick look again at the 3D view of Hurricane Milton. Man, this has got to be, besides Helene and probably Beryl, it's got to be one of the more historic hurricanes. I have a trip on Tennessee on Friday morning. Should I be worried about traffic? Honestly, I feel like if I was in that position, I'd probably worry about traffic a little bit. But then again, people probably would still be trying to make their way down south. Probably sometime after Thursday. I would imagine at least like morning hours probably wouldn't be too bad. But overall, traffic hopefully shouldn't be too terrible, especially if a ton of people evacuated. And even like when Hurricane Debbie was going through Florida, even a couple of days after, didn't really see a whole lot of people on the road from what I saw. But overall, I'll just say this: just make sure you kind of just look at what kind of traffic is going on in other states, and then kind of just make your decisions of where to go from there for your trip to Tennessee. So it looks like Milton's inland on, I think that's because tomorrow. So on Thursday morning, it looks like it's gonna be Cat 1, which I feel like it would be at least either a low end Cat 1 or a high end Cat, or low end Cat 2 or a high end Cat 1 on Thursday. After it makes landfall on Wednesday. Damn. Let's give my stretch it a little bit. It's been actually almost 4 hours. Feels like it's been less than that. It feels like it's almost been, actually more than that. It feels like it's been at least 4 hours. But I've only been going for, like, it feels like more than 4 hours, but less than 4 hours at the same time. It's so weird. Also, was I muted the entire time? So I think I might have been muted the entire time. I swear, sometimes I just don't even like pay. I like for sometimes I don't pay attention to my microphones for so long, especially even though my HyperX has like the red light on, like red light on it. Sometimes I just like just completely ignore it. I'm like, wait, is my mic unmuted or muted? Yeah, there was a 2% tornado risk today, but there was like one tornado warning all day. That was near Marco Island. Or as far as I know, there was only one tornado warning. But yeah, definitely could see probably a few brief tornadoes tomorrow. Which I think is probably going to be happening probably sometime between mid-afternoon to probably early afternoon. And then the risk kind of just dies out by the evening. So the next update would be at 1 a.m. Don't think I'm be streaming for that long tonight. Tomorrow will probably be longer than this stream. Which I'll probably stream probably sometime late morning to early afternoon until like probably like I want to say 10:30 a.m. to around probably like 1:30 in the afternoon probably, because then I would have something going on, actually have multiple things going on tomorrow, because then I have a class and then two things going on in the afternoon, which I may just about catch the landfall of Milton when I get back to where I'm at now. So tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day for me to kind of balance what I'm doing outside of streaming and for streaming. I think we keep this and take a look at this for next probably like 10 minutes or so. And I'll wrap up the stream in a bit. Because then I'll, so that way I'll be energized for tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get woken up in the middle of the night. by someone just either slamming at the door or something like that. But yeah. Because I think a couple days ago, I think it was like very early Monday morning, because Sunday was my first coverage live stream on this. And then I went to sleep at around like 1:30ish, and then I got woken up like from just some loud just boom from someone's door at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, bro, really? But you can definitely see Milton starting to kind of weaken. Because it used to be pretty big, like pretty sizable. I mean, it's still pretty big now, and of course strong, but definitely starting to weaken now. This is down to 160 max sustain with max wind gusts of 200, moving northeast, minimum pressure 915. And I don't know if there's gonna be. Okay, so it looks like they're. Well, Air Force is still somewhat out there. I have a feeling they might be the next update, probably, if anything. Because Noah is basically just completely out of here, although the graphic on Tropical Tidbits looks just completely weird. But that will be good for tonight's stream. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know specifically when. But yeah, like, subscribe so you get notifications and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.